Today we gather here to promise the whole nation that in the pursuit for freedom, in the pursuit for justice, in the pursuit for rule of law, we shall not whisper, but we shall roar. In the pursuit for a better country, we shall not whisper, we shall roar. I know that the gestation period for the struggle has been long, and some of our colleagues have lost hope, and therefore they decided to sell their souls to the serpent in power. But ladies and gentlemen, I want us to give ourselves a round of applause for standing strong, standing firm, standing tall amidst the trials. Another round of applause for ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we also gather here to reaffirm our resolve that we are ready to pay any price, bear any burden in the pursuit for a better country. Freedom Party, PFF, and at this juncture, I'll go right into inviting our leaders from the other opposition political parties. Sister parties have been corrected. Mark the word, sister parties, not brother parties. Gender oi. And our comrades from the sister parties, I would like to appreciate you for knowing that we are not competitors, for knowing that we are all part of the dispossessed. We are all in the same struggle, occupying different locations, same trenches, only shooting at the same common enemy. And therefore, without wasting time, allow me to invite Honorable Saddam Gaida from PPP. 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 And after him, we shall hear from Ken Luchamuzi, the man, all the way from CP.
Freedom Party, PFF, Freedom Party, PFF, Ra, Chia. Mr. President of the People's Front for Freedom, heads of political parties present, members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen, allow me, Mr. President, before I delve into my remarks, to say congratulations. 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 When the bickering started, when you were still in FDC, I met Honorable Kaija at CBS when it had just started. And my advice to him was to the fact that I asked him that, why don't you leave that party? Because I saw it as the only solution to what was going on within the other party you left. I'm very happy that that has come to reality today. When I look at the men and women here I see political craftsmen and women who have walked the political terrain, who know the nitty-gritties of the politics of our nation. I'm therefore very sure that the leaders I'm seeing here are not only going to shake the powers that be, but they will lead us to victory. I only want to make one remark. Just like I said, the team here is uncontestable. But that should not bluff us to think that we can do it alone. Nobody can do it alone. We must learn from our history. We should not behave like children this time around who think that their father can manage to fight a lion. And when the lion comes, for them they think their father cannot run away because they think their father is very strong. My clarion call to all members in the opposition that there are a number of ways where we can work together. I'll give one example too. Okay, let us say that in the worst case scenario, we have failed to work together at the presidential level. I'm just saying in the worst case scenario. But can't we protect our voice together? Can we even fail to do that? Can we even fail to collect evidence during election in anticipation that at the end of the day it can be useful for all of us ultimately? So the point I'm making is that let us not think that because I have the numbers, because I have the quality leaders, then I can do it alone. It takes a concerted effort to fight a dictator who has been entrenched. To fight a dictator who has fused all state structures, all state organs with the government and the state and himself. So it takes a concerted effort. Last time we tried in People Power and failed. The other time we tried in TDA and failed. But failing is not the issue. But the way you get up to start again, you compose yourself and make sure that you hit the road. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I once again congratulate you for having reached this level. But I also want to pray for our leader who is in prison to stay courageous, but also to be confident that at an appropriate time, God shall set him free. Since I am a Muslim, let me pray this, and you can say Amen. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. نسأل الله الكريم بجاه نبيه الوسيم أن يخرجنا من الدنيا ووالدينا والأحبائنا ومن إلينا انضم وأن يغفر لنا ولهم محكمات ولمما تسبب الله وجتيبوا agumye Dr. Besigye gyali amanye nti Allah ajja kumuta, amanye nti abali ebweru bajja kumulwanirira, amanye nti tetugenda kuva ku koozi kwali, era yonna gy'anaaba amanye tetugenda kusigala nga tuposhinga. With those few remarks, I once again thank you for inviting me. I thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the Honorable Ken Luchamuzi, the man.
So may I now invite the Honorable Salaam Musumba, the Speaker of the Assembly, to introduce the keynote speaker, and that keynote speech will crown and conclude our convention. Thank you very much for your patience. The Honorable Salaam Musumba.
Yes, thank you very much. A round of applause for the mobilizer, the brand manager of PFF, People's Front for Freedom. I want to introduce to you the retired Colonel, Dr. Kiza Besigye. A man from Rakabengo, Rukungiri. I want the people of Rukungiri to salute retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye. Freedom for all! All for freedom! And I want also the National Convention to salute Dr. Besigye all the way to Luzira. Freedom for all! All for freedom! He has had. Dr. Besigye is a medical doctor, as you know. And he is a freedom fighter, as you know. Together with the Honorable Major General Mugisha Muntu, they were in Luwero for the 5 years. And Luwero wasn't a disco hall. They had hoped that that would be the defining moment for Uganda to be liberated once and for all. Unfortunately, along the way, they found that they were being shortchanged and that the entire struggle was being squandered. And so in 1999, on the eve of the millennium, he authored a letter to his comrades in the hope that they would retract from the dangerous path they had taken. And so it was that letter of 1999 that he bravely authored and published to all of us Ugandans that led him to found Reform Agenda, participated in the 2001 presidential elections, the most violent elections on record. There was a committee in Parliament that was set up to investigate this violence. And it was led by the Honorable Dan Wandera Ogalo. Dan Wandera Ogalo, as a seasoned lawyer, brought to book all the atrocities, the killings, the maiming of the people that supported retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye in 2001. Together with NDF, National Development Forum.
Lulume Baiga Salongo.
Ohembe, ohembe, asango murro gwake no. Ohembe murro gwaka, asango murro gwake. Ohembe, ohembe, magendo kwija. In about 10 years, I have not found happiness that I found in PFF here. You know, our party leader, the General, Dr. Gunyose Ewa Besigye. Please give him a thunderous applause. Our party leaders, I will understand the protocol as it goes, as I continue to live within this brilliant party. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my second day in the party. I am PFF. Together with my colleagues here, and there are several of them with me. We are so delighted that we were warmly welcomed to this environment in which we want to participate alongside your directives to ensure that we create a Uganda that works for everyone. My last 30 years, I have made a contribution to the national politics of this country, from the Uganda Young Democrats to the Democratic Party, where I served for quite a long time. But Dr. Gunyose Ewa Besigye came for the last funeral rites ceremony of my father and predicted that all institutions of government, including private institutions, are going to be captured. And he said, in Uganda, mujja kubeerawo nga muwoza DP egumire bajja giwamba era bagiwamba. Mr. Kaija, you were there and he predicted so. For those of you who didn't know that our leaders have got focus on a number of things that we are not clearly seeing, Dr. Besigye is visionary and he predicted so, and it happened. But I also saw what was likely to happen together with my friends and said to ourselves, we are going to go a full circle until we see the thief naked. We went through a process and we went to Mbarara in the National Delegates Conference and we won the battle very well until the junta had to show his way. Comes in with a lot of guns. They participated as if we were delegates. They robbed in broad daylight and they declare what they wanted to declare, and there we are, orphaned by our conscience we regathered and we said we are not accompanying you to the armpits of President Museveni. You can go with a DPNRM cocktail party, which we don't belong to. We are the DP of Ben Chiwanuka, the man who was martyred for fighting for freedom, for fighting for justice, human rights. And then we said, how can we exist alone in this orphanage? And then we found that there are people who have been trusted, tested all the time, and they have been fighting in the trenches. They are found at PFF, and that's where we are. We are here because we respect the actors in PFF. These are our brothers, these are our fathers, these are our ideologues. People who believe in fighting for freedom and human rights. People who are willing to mentor others. People who are willing to cement the relationship between us and other parties. People who are willing to take on the junta. People who are willing to fight until Uganda is free. That is us. And that is why we come to you. And that is why we think we can act together with freedom. You have welcomed us very warmly. And we are happy to work under you, alongside you. Whatever you command us to do, we shall do until Uganda is free. I want to thank you so much for inviting General Mugisha Muntu. General Mugisha Muntu being in our midst, that is a very big plus. Please give him a thunderous applause. I have been reunited here with Alaso, with Osege. I've been reunited with Kajinda, with Gerard Karuhanga. Oh, this reunion is great. Let us unite and form a formidable force from now on. Let us be discussing from time to time. Let us work with others. I can assure you the junta is going to crumble. Thank you for welcoming me. Right Honorable Wafula Ogutu. Yesterday you welcomed me very warmly together with Ambassador Birigwa and my brother Sarongo Elias Lukwago, Honorable Semujunganda, Mr. Kaija and others. Thank you for welcoming us. You know, Right Honorable Wafula Ogutu is a humble man. He doesn't want even to be called Right Honorable. But he gave me a job as shadow.
Because therein also lies another lesson to the country. General Museveni over time has consciously, deliberately, and in a systematic way created a state of being in our country to make it seem that when people disagree, that necessarily you become hostile to each other, almost that you become enemies. That's why he has built a barrier in the country for purpose of psychologically influencing the thinking of the people, us versus them. He's good at deception. There's no doubt about that. You have to give it to him. He's thorough at deception. Because he knows that when you have the people who are disempowered, when you have the people who have lost hope, when you have the people who have got frustrated, it is easy to control them and manipulate them. I thank God that we have regrouped. Because it must signal the population that you may have disagreements, but you don't have to be hostile to one another. You don't become enemies. Because our separation in the case was never personal. It was on strategy and methods, that's all. but we're also mature people across the aisle. On our side as NT, on the side of PFF. We are mature and we learn from lessons of the past as we continue to shape the future that we desire to see happen. It's tough, but we have got capability to maneuver, even within challenging times. We will maneuver. We don't understand something. Lastly, where there is a desire for us to work together, those who desire to see change, what change in terms of getting into power and removing those who are there and getting in there is a foregone conclusion, only that we don't know the date. But resuscitating a people who've been so broken down to regain hope, to regain self, a sense of self-worth, self-worth, self-worth. Because that's also another area where General Museveni has worked systematically to break down the people. Their sense of self-worth, the majority of them, is gone. And yet, the strength of a country is never on infrastructure. He keeps talking about roads, he talks about dams, he talks about electricity. Libya had more than we have. Iraq had more than we have. Sudan had more than we have. But where is that infrastructure in all those countries? But back that point, and we really need to work on it every moment that we have. When you find a leadership which breaks down a people, I have said this, I keep saying it over and over until it sinks in people's consciousness. When people will scramble for 1,000 shillings, 2,000 shillings, give up their right, their fundamental right of choice, and replace it with 1,000, 2,000 shillings, that's a population that has been brought down to its knees. Countries which prosper, see countries which are almost like us, same level of development. They went through challenges. Countries like Vietnam. We see countries which have developed so fast, like South Korea, like Singapore. It's not only just leadership, it's also the people. People who are proud of themselves. Because when people are proud of themselves, when they have that sense of self-worth, several things happen. Innovativeness accrues from that. People cannot do things when they feel as if they are nothing. And that's what General Museveni has done to our people when you look all over the country. He started with the local people. Now he has gone up the ladder. He has gone in the territory of the leaders and also broken them down to a point where a number of them are being bought as if they are goats in markets. That's the main challenge of our time. For any group that wants to transform this country, transformation cannot come from minerals, it cannot come from wherever, it must come from the people who recover that sense of self-worth. And it can only be done by the leaders. We thank you, PFF, to remain standing, in spite of whatever challenges we've gone through. We have also remained standing. So we have defied, as Honorable Salaso has said, we have defied General Museveni's prophecy of saying that by 2021 there will be no opposition party. He is a false prophet. That's why we are here. And let's see how things unfold. May God bless you all.
As much as we have gotten our certificate and our party is now taking shape, I wish to emphasize that the BFF is not in competition for political space with the other oppressed political formations fighting to get rid of Museveni. Never. And please underline this. In as much as we have gotten our certificate and we are launching the party today, we are not jostling for political space with compatriots, with the colleagues with whom we share the same political prison. And it is the reason we have our colleagues here, and we shall continue with all those efforts of getting in touch with all like-minded forces to regain control of our country. It's against that background that a political pact was executed with our brothers and sisters in Alliance for National Transformation as the first building block towards building formidable synergies. We thank you, General Mugisha Muntu, the Honorable Alice Alaso, and the entire team for your commitment towards this particular cause of getting together to liberate our country. Our efforts are equally reinforced by the courageous and commendable decision of Comrade Honorable Dr. Michael Philip Lulume Basazeeko Wamwenge, teaming up with the forces of change at Katonga. You are most welcome. If we are talking about weapons we have in our arsenal, he's an RPG. Yes, I know him very well. I've worked with him. We have been close together for the last 30 years. This is a missile. He's an RPG. Efforts to network with other progressive forces are underway, and we hope they will come to fruition in a couple of weeks. Already we are having conversations and discussions with other like-minded forces, and we hope those discussions will come to fruition pretty soon, so that we run in a single file and get our country back on course. Those ones we shall be updating you in due course. First, with the paranoid state and public despondence, where a sizable percentage of the electorate seem to have resigned to fate, we have a cardinal obligation as the leadership of the change-seeking forces to rekindle a ray of hope to the citizenry. This has been the crux of it has been the gist of the message given by General Muntu here. We have a duty. The team that has been assembled today here, together with the colleagues in other formations, our primary obligation is to restore hope to Ugandans who are desperate right now. I think I don't need to repeat that message. It was well articulated by General Mugisha Muntu. As members of the BFF, what binds us together are the following. You need to take a note of this. We are not here because of friendship, and we are not here for freebies. We are here because of the following. Number one, the shared vision of promoting freedom, unity, national consensus, and sovereignty of the people. That is mission number one. That's why we are here. Shared vision and shared destiny. Promotion of freedom, fighting for freedom, unity, national consensus, and sovereignty of the people. Number two, we have a mission of valiantly continuing the execution of the struggle to its logical conclusion, restore people's sovereign authority to determine their destiny and deliver a country that works for all. This is what should be informing our agenda and manifesto. It will be elaborated in due course. There is a commitment to values of good governance, democracy, social justice, accountability, constitutionalism, and equal opportunities for all. Finally, a philosophy of strengthening institutions of government and promoting the principle of separation as well as devolution of powers. The federal that was being explained here by those who spoke before me. In striving to achieve all the above, the leadership of PFF calls for the membership to remain that proclaimed the usurpation of people's sovereign power, which was vested in the army. And now the army was also deposed, was also overthrown by General Kaguta Museveni. The power was grabbed from the army and vested in the family of the Kaguta dynasty. And now, that's where now power resides. This has always been explained by Dr. Kiza Besigye. The sovereign authority of this country is no longer the citizenry. The sovereign authority does not reside within the people and the constitution. It resides in the family of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. In the midst of all this political imbroglio, I can proudly state that our gallant members and millions of Ugandans, under the tutelage of our aforesaid patriarch, retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye, who is currently incarcerated, albeit illegally, at Luzira, have unwaveringly stayed the course and staged a sustained and relentless pushback. I thank you very, very much for that resilience. Today, I am deeply honored and profoundly humbled to stand before you, fellow compatriots, on this momentous occasion of launching our new formation, the People's Front for Freedom, a political formation with the DNA of defiance, resilience, grit, and non-compliance with oppression and suppression. That is our DNA. Today, I am deeply honored and profoundly saying, that's what I've said. The core mission of this newly born platform is to valiantly continue with execution of the said struggle to its logical conclusion, restore people's sovereignty or sovereign power to be able to determine their destiny and deliver a country that works for all. I hope it's not lost on all of us that plot 6 at Katonga Road, where we are gathered today, has never been and will never be a haven for political merchants, schemers, and fortune hunters, but rather a command center for non-violent liberation struggle to salvage our motherland from the cliff where it is hanging today. So take this, make no mistake. This place here, this command center, is not a center for schemers. It's for people who are determined. And I can see determined faces. All the individuals you see here, they are determined to salvage our country from the doldrums. And that's what brings us together. And that's what bonds us together. It's not brotherhood, it's not sisterhood, it's not friendship, it's nothing else but the liberation struggle to get back this country to where it should be, in the hands of Ugandans. All our political programs, agenda, and conversations should be guided by the values that we dearly espouse and our instructive motto, which are also our instructive motto, which is enshrined in Article 2 of the PFF Constitution, that is freedom for all for freedom. All the conversations you have, all the endeavors, the engagements you have, the activities, please, you should be guided by that motto. And this freedom is not only for Dr. Besigye, it's not only for Obedi Lutale, it's not only for us who are assembled here, but for all Ugandans regardless of their political opinions and affiliations. Dear comrades, we have come a long way. However, for the moment, we have every reason to celebrate this very milestone of attaining the PFF as a registered political front, which has not come cheap. This has already been explained. I don't need to elaborate. It has not been an easy journey. We navigated through a rigid and perilous political terrain right from August 2024 until 5th June 2025, when we officially received our certificate of registration. That is a journey worth celebrating and it's a huge milestone. I am indeed elated as an individual to have led the interim leadership that guided us through this roller coaster journey. In a special way, I wish to thank you, comrades, for entrusting us, myself and the team, with such a gigantic and challenging duty of steering this process, and in the same vein, register my gratitude to the entire team that has fought valiantly during the registration exercise. The team headed by the Honorable Wafro Gutu, kudos, thank you very, very much for the job well done. Whereas certification has been long overdue and indeed a welcome development, the front has always continued to execute its agenda unabated, albeit with the usual state persecution. Make no mistake, it's not the certificate that is giving us the agenda to pursue. The agenda is already there. The mission is there. The vision is there. This is just a small legal addition cover to cushion us against a few excesses of the state. But we have to continue with the agenda that we have always pursued. During the interim period, we managed to dismantle the General Court Martial, albeit with a new incarnation under the machinations that are being orchestrated by the regime. You know that. And I thank the person who led us in this, the Honorable Kabaziguruka. We thank you very much. And the gallant legal brains. That, yes, the Honorable Kabaziguruka. Thank you very much, and the entire team. We dismantled the General Court Martial. That's a fact. And Museveni had to tinker with the laws to resuscitate it, to have a reincarnation of the same. But I'm assuring you, it will never be the same business. It will never be the same again. Because I've told you, and I want to speak here authoritatively, at least Mugabe, is called Mugabe who? Freeman Mugabe will never step back at the General Court Martial as the chair. We told him in his face. When we were with Dr. Gunyose Ewa Besigye there, we told him in his face, we are here to fight you and your team to get you out of the General Court Martial. He's out. They can bring it back in a different shape, but we are determined to continue with the fight, and very soon we are filing the constitutional petition to challenge the same and continue with the struggle. We also managed to get our Chisum 36. Yes, the 36, where are you? We fought for their freedom. They were kidnapped from Kisumu. They were brought here, incarcerated for several months, but subsequently we managed to get them off the hook, though it is temporary freedom. No doubt we shall continue to aggressively and assertively seek justice and unconstitutional release of Dr. Gunyose Ewa Besigye, Obedi Mutale, and a score of other political prisoners of different political shades. The struggle continues. The formidable legal team we assembled is still pursuing justice for Dr. Gunyose Ewa Besigye. Whether Museveni likes it or not, we shall get Dr. Besigye out of Rizira alive. Dr. Besigye is not going to die in prison. That is not going to happen. We want to assure you, and God is on our side. And I thank you very much, all of you who have been standing on the side of justice. Those of you who have stood on the side of justice, I'm extremely grateful to you for that gesture. Resolute and focused. I invite you to remain resolute, to remain focused. I want to underline that. Remain resolute and focused. There are a number of things that are distracting us, but please remain focused and steadfast. It is equally imperative to maintain a high code of conduct and discipline at all times to avoid subversive conduct and subterranean grumbling. One thing that can kill any given institution And again here, I'll tap into the wisdom of General Muntu, who has been in the army for a very long time. In discipline, subterranean grumbling, and subversive activities, we should guard against that. That will set us into disarray. It will set us asunder. It will bring our mighty institution down. It will lead to the crumbling of the institution. Please, let us remain disciplined, focused, and also observe a high code of conduct. This one, we shall take you through the guidelines that will require us to pursue that same. We should be alive to the fact that we are living in a very volatile political environment with toxic and diabolic diatribe, even amongst the oppressed citizens. I need also emphasize this. What is killing us in opposition right now is what I have termed here diabolic diatribe. Diabolic diatribe. You see, the doctors will tell you, get yourself out of junk food. Junk food is dangerous to your health. That's what the Dr. Kamala's Dr. Baisgas will tell you. Please avoid as much as possible junk food. But I will also tell you, junk information is also detrimental to your brains. There's a lot of junk information which you are consuming in the social media, you are consuming in your daily conversations, you are consuming even in the mainstream media. Everywhere the countries are awash with junk information. Please, let's observe a diet, information diet. There is information diet. We share good information and avoid diatribe, which is diabolic, which is dangerous to any given institution. And these are words of wisdom I will leave you with as I give my parting shots. I strongly invite you, honorable colleagues, to draw inspirations from the counterbalance strategy in Rule 3 of the 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. Those of you who have read this book, Robert Greene, 33 Strategies of War. The General Muntu mastered it very well. Read those 33 Strategies of War. And this is rule number 3. It's the only one I will read. Rule 3. This is what Robert Greene tells you. Amidst the turmoil of events, do not lose your presence of mind. In all, Museveni has robbed us of all our assets. The only asset you have right now is your brain. That is the asset you have. Don't lose it. The state of mind is your asset. Let us not lose it. So, in the heat of battle, the mind tends to lose balance. Too many things confront you at the same time. Unexpected setbacks, doubts and criticisms from your own allies. I underline that. Doubts and criticism from your own allies. There is danger of responding emotionally with fear, depression, or frustration. It is vital to keep your presence of mind, maintaining your mental powers, whatever the circumstances they may be. You must actively resist the emotional pull of the moment, staying decisive, confident, and aggressive no matter what hits you. Make the mind tougher by exposing it to adversity. Learn to detach yourself from the chaos of the battlefield. You'll be hit by stray bullets if you get entangled in the unnecessary chaos in the battlefield. Remain focused and shoot in one direction. If you shoot rapidly in all corners, you'll end up shooting yourself. Yes, you have had soldiers shooting themselves in the foot or wherever. Let others lose their heads. Your presence of mind will steer you clear of their influence and keep you on course. So that is my message to you. Keep your asset, that is the state of mind focused on one thing, dismantling the Museveni hegemony and the junta. Our conduct, even in the face of extreme provocation, should at all times be guided by the wisdom of Sun Tzu. Those of you who have read his book, The Art of War, responding intelligently, even to unintelligent treatment, and with you. We should respond intelligently, even to unintelligent treatment. If you are faced with unintelligent treatment, respond intelligently. As I conclude, I wish to remind the members who wish to participate in the forthcoming elections as candidates on the PFF tickets that candidates at all levels shall be selected and deployed as frontline troops, basing on a well-defined criteria and our party constitution and guidelines. You are going to be deployed as battlefront troops, not people to occupy space, not people to occupy positions. So carve out your territory and say you are commander of that particular territory. You are commander of a cell, a commander of a village, a commander of a parish, a commander of a sub-county, a commander of a city, a commander of a district, a national commander. All of you are commanders in your respective areas. On this note, permit me to express my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Kabasikuruka and his team for spearheading this particular process once again. The electoral commission is there. You can gun big forms. The exercise is ongoing. Please go and get vetted. However, it should not escape us that the unfolding political events, particularly the mayhem that has characterized the NRM internal elections, are quite ominous, and the clear being of state-orchestrated violence that is going to define the 2026 political landscape. I therefore call on all our candidates to weaponize the election in advancing the cause of liberation. Where we are headed, we are going to face a vicious force which is violent. Get prepared. Warm up. Those of you who are oversized, please take a cue from me. Cut the belly. You must have the fire in your belly. You must be fit. You must be determined to take on the junta at all fronts so that we deliver the country we want. For God and my country, may God bless you.
Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender.